That familiar roar, the symbol of global connection. But every time a jet engine fires up, it sends something invisible, yet harmful, into the air. Something engineers have been trying to solve for decades. Nitrogen oxides. NOx. A major contributor to smog and air pollution, especially around our busiest airports. What if I told you the key to cleaner skies wasn't some exotic new fuel, but something incredibly simple? Something we use every single day? What if the answer was water? The year was 2004. Air travel was booming, reaching new heights of accessibility. But with that growth came a growing problem, the environmental footprint. Specifically, the impact of aircraft emissions on air quality in and around airports. Regulators and environmentalists were raising red flags. Something had to change. And that's where engineers like David Daggett at Boeing came in. Driven by a National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, initiative, their mission was clear. Find a way to significantly reduce NOx emissions from commercial aircraft engines. It was a tough challenge. These engines are powerhouses, built for extreme conditions. How could they be made cleaner without sacrificing performance or safety? The team began exploring unconventional ideas. One promising concept revolved around using water. The first approach? Water misting at the compressor inlet. The idea was simple: spray a fine mist of water into the air before it gets compressed and enters the combustion chamber. This cools the air, which in turn affects the combustion process, leading to fewer NOx molecules forming. And the results were genuinely exciting. With a relatively small amount of water, just 2.2% of the air's mass, they saw a remarkable 47% reduction in NOx emissions. But here's where it got really interesting. On warmer days, above 59 degrees Fahrenheit, this misting had an unexpected bonus effect. A 3.5% fuel efficiency benefit. Imagine an engine that's not only cleaner but also sips less fuel just by adding a little water mist on a hot day. But the team didn't stop there. They explored a more aggressive technique, injecting water directly into the combustion chamber itself. This is where things get truly extreme inside a jet engine. This promised even greater reductions, potentially up to a staggering 85% less NOx. But directly injecting water into a zone hotter than a volcano comes with challenges, requiring careful engineering to manage performance trade-offs. Yet, just like the misting, this method revealed another incredible, perhaps even more impactful benefit. The water injection drastically cools the internal temperature of the engine's hottest section, the turbine. We're talking estimated reductions of up to 436 degrees Fahrenheit. Why is this huge? Because heat is the enemy of engine components. This massive temperature drop could significantly increase the lifespan of incredibly expensive engine parts, potentially saving airlines millions in maintenance costs over the life of an aircraft. Oh, and as a little bonus, they even calculated a slight reduction in noise, about 0.61 decibels. Not massive, but every little bit helps, especially around noise-sensitive airports. Of course, groundbreaking innovation isn't without its practical considerations. Adding a water system adds weight. The team estimated a nominal penalty of less than 360 pounds for a typical 305-passenger aircraft, even before adding the water itself. That's less than the weight of 2 passengers, relatively speaking. There was also the initial system cost, estimated at about $40.92 per takeoff back then. But when you weigh that against the environmental benefits, the reduction in harmful emissions, the cost/benefit ratio for NOx reduction looked quite attractive, estimated around $1,663 per ton of NOx prevented. All of this research, analysis, and groundbreaking discovery was compiled into a single, comprehensive document. A weighty, 94-page final contractor report. It wasn't just a report, it was the culmination of countless hours of dedicated work, a deep technical dive into a radical idea. And its classification, unclassified, unlimited, sent a clear signal. This knowledge wasn't meant to be hidden. It was meant to be shared, debated, and potentially, pave the way for real change. For David Daggett and his team, this report was more than just a successful project completion. It was a blueprint. A tangible plan detailing how commercial aviation could take a significant step towards a cleaner, more sustainable future using surprisingly simple technology, water. This research, published back in 2004, showed immense potential for reducing NOx emissions, improving fuel efficiency on hot days, drastically increasing engine lifespan, and even slightly reducing noise. While the implementation of water injection systems on a widespread commercial scale faces complex economic and operational hurdles, the fundamental research conducted by Daggett and his team laid critical groundwork. It proved the concept. It demonstrated the potential of innovative, even counterintuitive, solutions to make the powerful engines of global travel significantly kinder to our planet's atmosphere. The hum of the engines might still be a familiar sound, but thanks to forward-thinking engineers like David Daggett, the whisper of harmful emissions is getting quieter, pushing us closer to truly cleaner skies. If you found this story as intriguing as I did, please give this video a like, it really helps the channel. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into amazing science and engineering stories. Thanks for watching.